Hey everyone, it's Sid, aka Brickplate, and as we know, tomorrow is Force Friday 2 for 2017. Second wave of new Star Wars sets tied into The Last Jedi are coming out, and Lego did a big announcement of what those new sets are today, and one of them was, of course, set number 75192. The new Millennium Falcon. So a lot of people have been talking about this set, which was the original UCS Falcon. I'll have to look up the set number again because I honestly forgot it. But this was released back in 2007. There's the London bus for comparison, and an older one for even more comparison. And I actually never bought this set. What happens with Lego sets are that once they come out, each Lego set has a unique element to it. So once that set goes into production, the element enters the Lego universe, and when enough time has passed, many, if not most of those elements will make their way into other sets. So I never got the original Falcon, a UCS Falcon, when it came out 10 years ago. But about 2 years ago or so, 2 or 3 years ago, I realized that I probably had enough elements in my loose Lego collection to make my own. And so that's what I did. As you can see, the re-release of the UCS Falcon focuses a lot on how less studded the exterior of the Falcon is. As you can see, lots of exposed studs, not much in the way of snot construction. So as a result, a lot of the surface is actually not smooth. These ports over here are a little bit smaller. The radar dish has been redesigned a little bit. These vents in the back make use of the new quarter round tiles and 1x2 grill pieces. Here, as you can see, they still use the webbed 6x6 radar elements, and even the original. On the new one, there's another feature where it's an entirely closed-in canopy, whereas here, as you can see, they used a lot of antenna rods, some of the droid arms, another radar dish right up front, etc. And it's a very tight fit in there for Chewie and Han and Princess Leia. If I can even get this off, I can. There we go. and Ben, and I somehow managed to get C-3PO in there too. But besides that, this model is actually pretty great. If you don't mind the studs so much. Even the designer video I noticed for the new set. The designer seemed to criticize the old model by saying it was a little bit blocky. Like, for instance, here, the side ports, obviously not really round, but they use a lot of these 2x4 longer slopes to get the effect done. The new model also has about 2,000 more pieces. But for the most part, the only really new things about there's Luke in his gunner station. I totally forgot that there was actually a window there, which he could aim that gun at pursuing TIE fighters. But I actually, it has 2,000 more elements, but it doesn't really add much. I thought it'd have more interior detail. There's they added the cabin with the Jarek table in it, and the hallway where C-3PO stumbles on Han and Leia about to smooch, and that's really it. So I'm really actually happy with this model. Um, like I said, I never got the original set, but once I realized I had most of the elements to build my own, I just went about and did it, got the instructions off of Lego.com, and set about building it. The two really rare elements in this set, actually there are three. One is the 10 by 10 radar dish right here. I'm going to put a little light on it so you can see it's not the original printed dish. What it is this was an Imperial tank set, a small one. I think it was like $19.99. So you can see the printing on the back. On the front, it actually lacks any printing, so I took one of the transparent 10 by 10 wheels from General Grievous's vehicle from a set that came out probably 4 years ago now, and put it on top of that. You can see it's 2 radar dishes thick, and so that element by itself is printed from the original UCS Falcon, and it fetches up until tomorrow when the new UCS Falcon goes on sale. It fetched a pretty hefty price on the secondary market. The other rare elements here were these 1x5 Technic L beams. As you can see, a little bit of an angle here. And a 1x4 Technic beam on either side, joined by this little corner piece. But this is what allowed for a T bracing to go this way and this way to give this model some stability. It is a little bit shaky, but I think there were 16 of these, or maybe 8 of these in the original set. These are pretty pricey too, but again, these are the elements that gave this model most of its internal stability. So as you can see, I was able to get a whole mess of them over the years, just buying bulk lots. Eventually got enough of them to do the interior of this. Now the last really rare piece in this set was the ship rigging, the long ladder piece, if you will, that came with a lot of pirate ships, but none of them came in this gray color. So what I did was I took, let's see here, a total of 8 of these ladder pieces, very simply clip them together, and it turns out to be the perfect length. I think in the original Falcon, I'm pretty sure these elements were not the silver aquazone pieces that you see here, but they were light gray. But as you can see, this works just as well in place of the rigging piece. These ladders do. So, if you can, basically, that was one workaround, excuse me, for those rare elements. Actually having the rare elements, having a suitable replacement, and having a suitable replacement for the rigging. So the other thing that I did was I combined a lot of old gray pieces, like this and this, with some of the more new gray pieces. Old gray, new gray, lots of old gray here. You can probably tell the difference between old gray and new gray. I also mixed in some of the old dark gray and the new dark gray, if you will. So it kind of gives the Falcon its proper what a piece of junk look, because it's not a uniform gray color. And where I needed to, where I didn't have enough of these pieces, these 4x6 tiles with studs on the edges, I got a little creative and added the random off colors that didn't go with the rest of the ship. After all, it is a piece of junk, right? So you see a lot of old gray mixed in with new gray, and old dark gray mixed in with new dark gray in the greebling on this. So yeah, I really don't have $800 to spend on Lego anyway, so I won't be getting the new one for a while. I'm quite happy with the one that Lego came out with 10 years ago. I'm even happier that I didn't have to spend any money on it, getting it on the secondary market. I just dug through my collection and got really lucky, had most of the pieces that I needed. By the way, let me take this part off. I showed you Luke at his gunnery station earlier. I think the other thing that the new set does is that these hull pieces probably come off a little bit easier. It's a little bit tentative right now when I do this. Freaks me out a little bit, but just to give you a peek inside, you'll see there's not really much of an interior in there. It's a lot of that. Long Technic beams, basically keeping the structure up together. That's what's giving it its rigidity. But just a little bit more of the greebling on the sides. Greebling, greebling, greebling. I suspect many of the 7,000 plus elements in the new version of the Falcon is dedicated to greebling. So, oh, and by the way, the landing gear is also slightly different. But as you can see, 7 of them are enough to hold up this massive spaceship. So, if you're planning to get the new Millennium Falcon, good luck. I hope you enjoy it. For the most part, I'm happy with this. Oh, by the way, one more thing. In the new Millennium Falcon, this corridor piece that leads to the cockpit, as you can see, these are all plates. In the new version, it's all rounded bricks, and it looks kind of cool. But some of you and some people have already noticed that right where the bend is in the new version, right here, it looks like there's a big crack in it. So I think they happen to do that a little more solidly here. So hope you enjoyed the tour of my custom UCS Millennium Falcon First Edition. Remember, if you don't want to spend $800 on the new one, all you really have to do, if you're lucky, and if you have a lot of loose Lego sitting around in buckets and tubs and stuff, is to just see if you have enough pieces to build it on your own. That's what Lego's about, right? Creativity. So hope you enjoyed the little tour of my Millennium Falcon, and I will see y'all later. Bye.